So, are you at a crossroads trying to figure out what direction you need to take, how to get started with pursuing your dreams, your visions, or any ideas that has been your heart's desire since you were a child? All right. Well, this is for you. Now, basically, I've always had dreams since I was a child to use my gifts and talents. I have a lot of talents, but life just seems to make you feel stuck and not know exactly what you need to do, because you're like, okay, how am I going to balance working on my talents and turning it into a career, and you know what I'm saying, the things in between, like just training, paying for it, and mainly time and money, right? Because you need the time, but then you also need the money for necessities, right? So that's literally where I was stuck at, and there were no videos of anyone basically speaking exactly how they got to where they were. People who had their breakthroughs, they were successful, they're literally living the life of their dreams, and how they got there. Like, don't sugarcoat anything, just give it to me, right? I also would reach out to people I saw doing what I desired to do, and some of them responded, a lot of others did not. And the responses I got was, some people said they had help from family. Other people said that they would work multiple jobs, which is what I did not want to do, to make ends meet, and it was very stressful, and they would try to do that. They had to downgrade and downsize their life, and then put all their energy into their talents and put their talents out there, just until they had a breakthrough, when they just got that big contract, that big discovery, and then it paid off, which all your work is always going to pay off. And then it was other people who just responded that they would practice, like 3 hours minimum a day and plus. They didn't say anything about working, but then again, they probably had help from their family. So that's all I had to go off of. And then some people was like giving me like negative feedback, like, you don't want to do it, like it's stressful, like acting, that's one of my dreams, childhood. And they would just talk about just how competitive it is and how many people are in it, just like music, and having to find work and then support yourself, because acting, when you first get started, you're not going to get the gigs that you want, so you got to release expectations. I didn't care about any of that, because that's just part of it. That's just part of it. Okay. And you don't know who, when it comes to blessings and your destiny, what is for everyone. So your reality may be different from mine. But anyway, I just want to go ahead and just tell you what I did. I am currently working on my passions, and I've been doing it since, for 3 years now. All right. So when I was reaching out to people, again, I had a trucking company, y'all. I had my own truck. I was an over-the-road driver, so I was gone literally every day, but I was not married. I did not have any children. It was just me. I had 2 different relationships, and not at the same time, when I was in that season of my life, but they didn't work out. But I did help those people I was with their dreams, get them off the ground or whatever, but that was more business. It really wasn't anything dealing with entertainment and arts. So but anyways, so I had no time, but I did attempt to take classes. I tried to take gymnastics classes and flexibility classes, and I also took aerial classes, but I was never consistent, because my business called for me. I had to put a lot of energy into it, and keep my truck on the road so I could pay my business expenses and personal expenses. And I made a lot of money in trucking, but in order to make all that money, I had to sacrifice my time. So I was at a place where, excuse my foot, falling asleep like really bad, y'all. So I was at a place where I was just so confused. So at this time, I used to meditate a lot, and I would just ask the Most High, like, what is it I have to do to pursue my dreams? Now, in my heart, in my mind, I always spoke what I desire, and I had vision boards. I wanted to be debt free, financially free. I didn't want to have to work multiple jobs to support myself and work on my dreams, and I didn't want to have to run a business that had absolutely nothing to do with my passions just to support my passion, because obviously I was trying that and it wasn't working out. And then it was just a lot of things I wanted to be able to do. I didn't want to have to use my gifts and talents to make money. That's what most people do, but I didn't want to do that, even though I know I would make money from it, because I wanted to be in a position that if someone didn't have money or their finances were just in a rut, I wanted to be able to offer my services without having to rely on payment to support myself. Like, it didn't matter whether I was getting paid or not. That's how I wanted it to be. Now, how this was going to happen, I had no idea, but that was my desire. That was my intention. That was like my wish, my desire in order to pursue my dreams or whatever. So I used to just ask the Most High what I would need to do. Like, what is it? So finally, Of course, there was different cycles I had to go through, different seasons before leading up to this. And when I'm talking about this, it is spiritual, okay? So whether you are religious or spiritual, it doesn't matter. If you have a connection with the Most High, with your higher self, with the God within, then you will definitely understand what I am speaking of. I had to heal from the attachment I had with money. I had to heal, which is how I was able to make so much in trucking. I had to heal from relationships that did not work out in my favor, and feeling like a victim because of that, and looking at the bigger picture that it actually happened for me and not to me, and the lessons that actually were blessings. And it was just a lot of different things I had to learn about being an overgiver, people using me, and then when I get that intuitive nudge to help others. So those were previous seasons leading up to this, and the entire time I was literally desiring to pursue my dreams. And it was so many times I was called to start a YouTube video platform, and in the relationship I was in at the time, my partner actually, like, he would just I don't want to talk too much about that, but he would literally discourage me from doing it just by saying contradicting things against what my ideas were. Like, if I want to say I want to do it on motivational speaking, manifestation, and things that I'm learning, then he would say, no, you should do it on this and that, you know. Or if I said I'm gonna start posting videos that I've been guided to say, you know what I'm saying, on one of my platforms that I had, he'd be like, no, you shouldn't be talking about that. And then if I would show him a video, he'd be like, ain't nobody gonna watch that, but then it's getting 200 plus views. So it's one of those type things or whatever. And I end up allowing his energy, and I take accountability for that, to like redirect me and to discourage me. So that was another test and something I had to overcome in that season, right? So I could completely just trust the process with pursuing my dream. So let's get straight to it, right? So I was trying to figure out what I needed to do, because I have finances, and then I want to pursue my dreams, and I don't have the time. How am I going to support myself? Like, what am I to do? And you're probably wondering the same thing too, right? So basically, the calling came from the Most High, from above, the God within, that intuition. And you won't feel it. It's just going to be this energetic surge, because when you be seeking answers, you will find them. Everything always comes from within. And the guidance I had received was, if I wanted to pursue my dreams, I had to let go of my trucking company. And I was like, what? What? How am I going to pay my bills? So I tried to negotiate with the Most High. You know, I tried to negotiate. Y'all, I knew better than that. I tried to negotiate. I was like, maybe instead of like giving up my trucking company, I could work 3 or 4 days and bring freight in. And then the other days I could work on my contortion and building my platform and taking classes. No. Okay. The inner guidance again said, you have to let go of your business. It was nothing else. That was it. You have to let go of your business. And that was it. And so every time I would ask, you know, there would be silence. And then finally, the Most High would come in, my angels and ancestors, my spirit guides, and say, you have to let go of your business. And I was like, that's not happening. Because I was afraid. I didn't know. And that's the thing. I'm telling you, you're not going to know. There's no blueprint. There's no map. It's just an experience. And I'm doing a little justice by making this video so you won't feel like you're delusional. There is the journey to your heart's desire and bringing your dreams into reality, or aligning with the frequencies that your dreams are on, however you want to put it. It is not meant to be explained, which is probably why I could never find anyone actually saying their journey and what took place. You get bits and pieces, but no step by step. Right? Because it's not meant to be explained. It is meant to be experienced. You're going to ask and yearn for, and then you will have a calling. That calling is going to come in from whatever term you want to use. God, the Most High, the universe, your angels, ancestors, source, whatever. Okay? And it's going to be clear. You might think you're crazy, but it's going to be clear, and it's going to return to you. It's going to continue to return to you as much as you continue to inquire and ask and yearn. It's going to come to you, whether it's in your dreams or in your consciousness. It's going to be signs and synchronicities in the physical realm that we can see, and it's going to tell you what you need to do. And usually it's not what you want to do. It's going to be the total opposite or whatever, because whatever the path is going to entail you facing your fears and going through a complete shift externally, and especially within. And it's going to be unknown, and it's going to be a lot of stuff revealed to you. And along the way, okay, you're going to be going crazy, okay, because this is no joke. You're going to start to comprehend why exactly it was necessary to go through the different cycles leading up to you having your breakthrough in your career, your dreams, your visions, your goals, right? So back to me. So the example I was given. So it was about 5 times that I asked, like, what's going on? I remember I was over the road. I might have been going through what state? Georgia, North Carolina. It was a beautiful day outside in my truck. I was either off or delivering freight, and probably working because I was always working. And the thought came to me again. And at this time, I was in no relationship. I had broken up, with the last partner I was with. And I was like, it's just me. Why am I not pursuing my dreams? So I asked the Most High again, dang, what do I need to do? What y'all think came? You must let go of your trucking company, walk away from your business in order for it to happen. And I just let that thought go. Turn on my music, whatever video I was watching, it kept it going. But let me tell you what happened, right? So the year before I decided to make the decision, things were happening. I had this huge energetic pull to pursue my dreams. Like, everything in my life was fine. Bills was paid. Trucking was just how it was. Business was basically what it was. You know what I'm saying? I was just there, existing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the energy within me just kept pulling me towards pursuing my dreams. And it was there. It was a couple of months. Then I had a dream. I can't talk about this part. It's going to go in my book, but I'm being guided not to speak on it. But I had a dream about something spiritual I needed to do. And in religious, basically in religious culture or whatever, belief systems, this would be considered demonic or whatever. So I was afraid to do it, because that's what I was taught growing up in the Kingdom Hall, that it was very demonic. And so I called people close to me, about 3 or 4 people, including one girl who was a spiritualist, right? And she would be doing rituals and all kind of stuff, which I respected. And all these people, with the exception of one person, someone I have a good relationship with, one of my siblings, and he was cool. But everybody else was telling me, don't do it. It's demonic, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, well, have you done it? Okay, you've never done it. So you're telling me not to do something that you've never done. You're just looking on the surface level, like he say, she say. So I took it upon myself because I was afraid, and I was called to do it, because this calling actually had came to me before, but I was afraid to do it. And I did all the research that I could do on it. I researched and I researched and I researched, and then finally I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I was obedient and I did it. And that was that. So I continued to have the energetic pull to pursue my dreams, but I just wasn't sure. So I continued working. One day I was in, maybe I did some freight, Arkansas, and then I was in Mississippi. I delivered freight to Mississippi. I don't remember where I started from. And then I drove to Arkansas. From Arkansas, I drove all the way to Pennsylvania. And that was an 18-hour drive. And I literally did that drive in like one day. It didn't take me long. I did. Okay, I might have manipulated my clock a little bit, but again, I was on the operator, so that's what it was, But anyways, I got to my receiver, to the destination, and the broker, this is all trucking terms, had lied to me about having appointments and when I could deliver, because that does play an important part on you being able to get to your next load and making more money. And so I like for things to run smooth. I like people with good honesty and integrity and morals and values. And everybody don't have that in entrepreneurship. Some people just be about themselves, and money can come in more when you're honest, but they not about that. They be scam artists. So I got there and they told me basically I had an appointment, which the broker told me it was no appointment. It was first come, first serve, and all of that was a lie. And I end up driving all that way to Pennsylvania to deliver that freight, only to be rejected for that day, to have to come back the next day. And I remember sitting in my semi truck, and I was just tired for one, and a little irritated. Then I called a broker who proceeded to be very rude and disrespectful to me, which I was used to that, very unprofessional. I was not going to work with that broker again. He had lost my business. But anyways, I had a thought, and it was a very powerful thought. And I thought to myself, if I have to work so hard for something, it needs to be for my dreams. I didn't physically say this. It was a thought. That's all it was a thought, y'all. But it was powerful because I meant it. Because again, your girl was yearning to be able to have a career in what she loves. I'm traveling performer, a motivational speaker. It was a lot of things, helping people with their flexibility and health, spiritual growth, healing, Reiki healing. I wanted to be able to travel out the country to learn about different herbs, and then try herbs on myself to heal myself, and then sharing it with the community. I even would write down and research herbs, and I had a book and learning about how to use the herb, because different parts of the herbs is meant for different things. You got things that heal you within, and parts of the herbs and plants that actually heal surface levels, like wounds and things, bruises or whatever, and broken bones, So, and I even broke it down. You see how passionate I was about the herb as far as what sickness, if it's a STD or heart disease, or dealing with not autoimmune, but probably that too, but your skin, people, headaches, or diabetics, or even cancer, dealing with, it was a lot of different things. Did I say eczema stuff? When you say I did say that, it was just a lot of stuff. intense detox is one that I wanted to do with the duck flower, if you ever heard of that. And it's supposed to heal you, tremendous cure you, okay? Anyways, I wanted to research because this is my purpose. We all have a gift that we were sent here to unwrap and share with the world, with ourselves to heal, with our bloodline to close out cycles, and to really bring things. And that's where it's not about the money, but that's where the wealth is, doing what you're called to do. And you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the community, for your family, and for yourself, and with love, and you're genuine and pure, and it's authentic. And that's the blessing, what comes from it, healing people, and the money, you know, the universe rewards you the most high, like that. But anyways, so I got that calling, and literally that was on a Friday, and this was like in 2022 in May. And I just remember that Monday, because that was Friday, that Monday, I attempted to go back to work, and 2 loads got denied. I'm like, what? So I go around and get ready to get my truck ready. It's called a pre-trip inspection, where you're basically making sure the truck is, your equipment is safe to go on the road, the truck and the trailer. You want tires, no leaks and stuff, no air leaks or whatever, brakes working properly, all of that stuff, right? Which is very important. Make sure your lights and stuff work. So I go put my hand on my truck door, and I heard that voice come back and say, don't go back to work. I was like, what? Am I going crazy? Intuition again, that God voice within, don't go back to work. So I was like, give me a sign, because sometimes I do be needing that proof, right? So I continue to do my pre-trip inspection, and I go down the driver's side, and then I go down the passenger side on the trailer checking the tires, and I get to the side of my semi-truck checking the tires, and I check the outside. Normally I check the inside tires. I don't know what made me forget. Then I heard something in my chest to say, check the inside tires, go look under the truck. So I had just got new tires on this truck. Okay, these truck tires, I had got new steer tires in the front. Then I got the 4 tires, which 8, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side, 4 on the other side. Got them all replaced, right? So these were pretty much new tires. I had got these tires replaced like within 3 months. So I stick my head under the truck and look at the inside tire, and it's completely blown to shreds. This brand new tire, blown to shreds. And I was like, what? Okay, I'm not going back to work to pursue my dreams. And that was the most craziest decision I had ever made. I can't believe I did it. So let me tell you, the first 3 days I thought I was going crazy. I didn't know why I wasn't going back to work. I just know the Most High said if I wanted to pursue my dreams and have everything that I was hoping, wishing, and praying for, financial freedom, to be debt free, be able to work on my dreams and have the free time and stuff, I had to trust him, trust the process, believe in myself, and surrender. I had to surrender to the calling, okay? And part of that calling, the first part of it was walking away from my trucking company, and also spirit, the Most High, my angel answer said, don't pay no bills. Stop paying your bills, walk away from everything, don't worry about nothing. You got to give up your entire old reality. And your girl was in that semi truck going crazy. So for 3 days, I just remember I was anxious. I had anxiety. I was nervous, impulsive, or whatever. Bill collectors, you know what I'm saying? They weren't calling immediately, but, you know, bills was coming out the account. You know, and I was so nervous. I just remember the 3rd day, or maybe the 4th day. I think it was the 3rd day. I sat in my Jeep and I was listening to motivational videos and readings. And I remember something just popped up. I don't remember the name of the video. But it was by Maji Got the Tea. I love her. Oh my goodness. She is the best. She is the best. She's the best. She's walking in her purpose, and she's doing what she's called to do. And I'm grateful for her, because she was a sign for me, and she got me, like, her being able to communicate and channel messages through the Most High and through her ancestors and spirit guides has helped me a lot, because it resonated. But I came across one of her videos that she had posted. I don't remember the title of it. I don't. And I listened to the video because I was just guided, you know, energetically to watch the video. It was about a 30-minute, 40-minute video, and I watched it, and I won't really paying attention because I was doing other things while listening to it. So I heard some of the things she was saying, it was resonating, but then all of a sudden she said something and said, you're going to get this. And I just, like, the energy in my head just turned, and I heard the Most High tell me, that is your reward for being obedient. You're destined for that. And I knew it was for me, because I had dreams of this happening. I had seen signs of this happening, more dreams of this happening. When I used to be in a marriage, when I was married, I was meeting people who experienced this, and it's very rare that happens. And I was meeting these people. These people were multi-millionaires, and I had one-on-one conversations with these people in the past, not knowing they was giving me advice. They was giving me advice and just telling me about who I was. Like, they would say, you have a really amazing personality, like, you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have this, you know. And at the time I was working for the state, and, you know, I ain't gonna say I didn't pay it no mind. I just appreciate it, and it was just a memory store. So I started going back, like, wow, that was like 15 years ago. meeting these people, and I met more than one person, so I knew that message was for me. And so I end up coming across like another video that same day, and it was through another individual who would post motivational videos or whatever. And again, I'm very grateful. I can't remember this young lady's name. I would probably only watch one video of hers, but I was very grateful because I don't remember the title of this video, but I was very grateful because and I don't think she had her face in the video. She was just speaking, but the energy was so powerful. And the message, and this is a whole different person, was the same. And again, the Most High had told me this is what you're going to receive for being obedient. And then I had seen another video that was talking about signs of manifestations, or that you're on the right path. People from your past will start popping up. And I was listening to it again excited, like, wow, but I had no expectations. So tell me why. The very next day, a young lady reached out to me. I hadn't heard from her in 8 years. She used to do security at my job. And let me not get emotional. She reached out to me and she said that God told her to call me. And she was like on a spiritual journey. She was going through things in her life, but she was being obedient. She was undergoing a lot of significant change. And she's always had such an amazing, beautiful spirit. I love her so much. But she reached out to me and I appreciate her. And she said she was just giving me recognition and praise and just telling me like she remembered how beautiful I was, how I stood up for people, and I was all about justice for humanity. You know, I didn't care about policies and procedures above humanity. I did whatever I could to help people, you know, through that divine will and through that divine guidance. And she said she remembered the smile on my face and my energy. And I literally was crying. And she said that I was going to be so blessed. That's what God told her, that I was going to be blessed. So that was confirmation, because I'm sacrificing the old reality and walking away from my business. So of course, I mean, that helped a lot, right? So all of that happened and I got so excited. Then I remember being on Facebook, and I remember somebody telling me, they reminded me of this influencer who was very wealthy, Tabitha Brown, you know, and she has great energy. She is all about healing and health. She has I think she's a vegan or vegetarian, plant-based lifestyle. Okay. And she went through this place in her life. And at the time I didn't know who she was. I only heard of her one time. But she went through a lot of transitions, and, you know, the Lord bless her, and she's in a spotlight, but not for any derogatory reasons, as to a disciple, you know, of the kingdom, to help people. She's walking in her purpose, open her gifts, and she's getting blessed for it, you know, her family, and she's inspiring, motivating, wrote books, she's on the TV shows, just everything, you know. And I just remember someone telling me that I would be like her, that my destiny would be similar to hers. Not quite, but I have my own, but it's similar, you know, having that blessing, going through the journey and the sacrifices. And I had never heard of Tabitha Brown, and I only again looked at her one time. So, and that was like a year prior to this decision, answering my calling, right? So tell me why the next day, after getting the phone call, seeing the 2 videos, the Most High telling me the blessings I would receive for being obedient, the next day I was on Facebook just scrolling, because I decided not to go back to work. So now I got free time, looking on Facebook, and out of nowhere it said people you may know. You already know what I'm about to say. Under people you may know, again, I've never searched this on Facebook or anything. It came up, Tabitha Brown. It did, came up. I was like, what? It came up, Tabitha Brown. And I was just beside myself, and I was screaming with joy, because I knew I'm getting too many signs of 2 videos. My coworker, who I hadn't heard from in 8 years, reaching out to me and just telling me about how she appreciated me and the recognition, and God told her I was going to be super blessed, you know, because I have a lot of gifts and things like that. And now the For You page with Tabitha Brown, when someone I had met over the road who knew of her said I reminded you know, them of her, and me not knowing who she was, and just seeing it that one time for a year later for her to pop up on my For You page. She's never popped up before. We not gonna call it's not a coincidence. Okay, it's not. It's destiny. It's alignment. So yeah, so that was what was happening, right? And then I started seeing signs of the blessings tangibly. I'm talking about, I was hearing it. I seen it on street signs, billboards, stores, license plates. I was seeing angelic numbers everywhere, rainbows, cardinals, blue jays, butterflies, all kind. It was like the heavens was raining down on your girl for answering the calling. Okay, so and it's necessary, because when you the journey, okay, you need all the blessings and help and love you can get from above. All right, so things started happening, right? Obviously, I'm not working, I'm not paying bills. And I'm excited, but you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, you get the signs and stuff, and from the into the physical reality, but you still the unknown path. You don't know what's actually going to take place, when it's going to happen, how, you know what I'm saying? You don't know. And you're going to experience people that's going to call you crazy. They're going to think you're delusional, that you're walking away from your income, your finances, you're changing your career path, or whatever. You're downgrading, you're letting stuff go. Whatever the case is that you're called to do, that is going to be non-traditional. It's going to be very so unorthodox and unfamiliar, and it's going to trigger a lot of people. A lot of people is going to get triggered because they like to live in comfortability. They like to follow the norms, societal norms, and things that they were taught, and they're not willing to change that. They're afraid. Whatever the case is, you're gonna have to face your fears. So you're gonna have people, could be in your relationship, your friends, okay, family members, whatever, business affiliates, people that you work with, and people who have known you for 5 plus 10 years, okay, 20 years, and they gonna turn their backs on you, laugh at you, mock you, talk about you, not help you. It's gonna be people that you have helped, people that you have actually given money to, probably that live with you, you know what I'm saying, hooked up in relationships, whatever the case is. Probably help get them a job, put them on to something, and they're gonna turn their backs on you. They are. And you're gonna be upset about it, and you're gonna be triggered, feel like a victim, feel it all. But it's necessary, because those people are not meant to come with you in your new season. Sorry, y'all, the cat's fighting. Stop it. They're not meant to come with you in your new season. Now, the next thing is going to be how you're going to support yourself. What? Okay, so the way it works is that the Most High is always going to make sure you have what you need, not necessarily what you want. So it's a lot of things I had to sacrifice, like getting my nails done, spa days, you know what I'm saying, having my hair done, certain skincare products, just, a lot of superficial materialistic things. The only thing that the Most High wanted me to work on was being in a childlike spirit, enjoying myself, and working on my skills and talents. I tried to do that. I attempted, but majority of the time I was going crazy. I was losing it. Kept asking questions, kept asking for signs, blah, blah, blah. It's just what it was. I was nervous. I was I was sick. I was scared. You know what I'm saying? But a way was always made. Okay. So I basically was in my truck for quite a bit of time. And then out of nowhere, because like I said, people walked away from me, didn't agree with me. Bills came out of my business account, so my business account ended up getting closed. And then I had money in my personal account, and that's what I was using. But I mean, I only had like a couple of $100s. I'm so sorry. Stop it with these cats. Move. I'm making a video. Be still. But anyways, you see how they fighting, going crazy? That's how I felt internally, okay, energetically. I felt like I was fighting myself. Crazy. But anywho, I only had $300, so I used that for gas and for food, and it's only gonna take you so far. So basically, when that ran out, I had been on a journey for about 2 weeks, and the people who was close to me, who knew what I was doing, they had walked away from me and thought I was delusional, and all kind of mean stuff they were saying and doing towards me. So I didn't know who to help. Then I remember only having $6 left, and I was at McDonald's, and I said, okay, Most High, angels, ancestors, universe, y'all said that I needed to walk away from my business and I would be all right. I'm down to $6. I don't know what to do. I was going to order my food at McDonald's. I'm still in line. Then the idea came for me to call my sibling, that I'm close with, and I hadn't talked to him in a while. I don't know why we hadn't talked, because we usually talk on a regular basis, but the idea just came to me just to call him and talk to him, not to ask for nothing, but just call and talk. I ended up calling him and talking to him, telling him that the Most High told me to walk away from my trucking company and from my business, that everything's going to work out in my favor, and I was going to receive a spiritual inheritance, and I would be financially free, debt free, to pursue everything that I was asking for, and he had did the same thing like a year prior to me, where he had got a call in to walk away. But his journey is similar but different, because he actually has kids, a wife, and all of that good stuff. And he did the same thing. So he had been on that journey for about a year, 2 years. Lo and behold, I had no idea I was next. I had no idea I was next. I had no idea that I was next. So when I had called him and told him what the Most High had told me, before I could even finish, I heard that cha-ching go off, on my phone. I never heard that before, because I'm used to sending stuff out to people versus receiving it. And I looked down, I seen that little dollar sign on my phone, and it said that he had sent me some money. And I was like, bro, you didn't have to do that. He said, I know, but I'm so excited. He said, I had a dream that somebody in the family was going to blah, 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 which is my blessing. And I was like, and that's what Spirit had told me was going to happen. But my sibling also knew that he was going to be a millionaire, by the age of 40. I've always identified with being a multi-millionaire, but he knew he was going to be wealthy, but not for any selfish reasons. It was necessary for him to pursue his dreams and work on his purpose, which is huge. I ain't gonna get into all of that. But anyways, he sent me this money and I was so grateful. I had no idea. It was totally unexpected. And he continued to send me money. So he basically supported me as long as he could. Again, I said he's married with kids. So I knew it was only going to be so long he was going to be able to support me. Plus, I didn't know how long I was going to be on this journey. And so fast forward to the time where, you know, he wasn't able to support me, you know. Everything in my life is just falling apart, fell apart. It's fell apart and continuing to fall apart. And people looking at me like I'm crazy, right? And we ain't even gonna get started on my living arrangements because I was living in my truck before I did all of this. So now I'm not driving over the road anymore. So I'm living in a truck. So I ended up getting into it with the person whose lot I was on, and I had to leave the truck and live in my Jeep or whatever and still being obedient to the calling, right? But anyway, after that, I knew my brother wasn't going to continue to support me. I remember reaching out to another sibling who did not agree with what I was doing, but I figured she wouldn't mind just sending me some money. And it's not that I needed the money. It's just I didn't want to eat like the snacks that I had. I kind of wanted some processed junk food, okay? That ain't right. But I did. I was just craving it or whatever. And so I said, maybe I could call and ask her for money. You know, I did so much for her. I've given her money. I bought her things. You know what I'm saying? I came to her rescue when she was going through like abuse, domestic violence, all of that, right? And that was all recent. So I ended up calling her and she ended up sending me some money. I didn't give her a number. She sent me some money, $100. And I was like, thank you so much. Boom. And I did what I need to do with it. The very next day she called me. Now, keep in mind, she already knows what I told her I was doing, pursuing my dreams. This was a call and I want to get this blessing. It's going to change my life. It's going to change her life. You know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, I had no notion she was going to act the way she did. And she was trying to convince me to go back to work. And I'm like, why would you want to convince me to do something that the Most High told me not to do? You know what I'm saying? And if you know anything about manifestation, you have to let go of something for new. You got to let go of the old for the new. And some people's desires are bigger than others. And I've manifested things and will things into existence by being obedient before it has happened for me. No, she won't try to hear that because she's more of a person that is I don't want to say narrow-minded, but she's a more logical person. She's a seer before a believer, meaning that if she don't see it in the reality with her physical senses, that she can touch it and hear it and hold it, she's not gonna go along with it. She need that first. And I'm the complete opposite. I know that it's already mine without having all of that first, and it has always worked out even before I learned about law of attraction, manifestation and assuming all of that, or being spiritual, any of that. Anyway, she was trying to convince me to go back to work. And I was like, I just kind of felt like that's not even cool because when she started her business or attempted to start her business, I was all in helping her, sampling her products, paying for stuff, buying stuff just to help my sibling out. So she basically told me it's not God, I'm dealing with demons. That's what she says. Demonic, blah, blah, blah. And if you're not going to go back to work, then you need to go get checked into a mental hospital. And I'm not going to lie, like, it hurt. I was hurt so bad. I was so disappointed because I'm like, this coming from the same sibling that I stood up for and had her back in so many different ways. Even let her live. But when I got into truck and I don't need to go too deep in this, but let her live. She was going through domestic violence and I told her to come live at my place that I was renting. And I was, instead of, just telling the landlord that I'm ending the lease, I moved her in and let her stay there to have a safe place for her and her child while I went over the road. So that hurt my heart. I was so hurt by that. But it made sense though, because like I said, people are not meant to come to your new season. So it was like the Most High was removing the veil to show all the people and their true energy, their true mindset, their true intentions, because when you're going to be moved to higher places in a abundant season, you can't have these type of people around you because you're going to be doing things that they're not used to. They're going to be triggered. So it was cool. So we stopped talking. And whatever, we haven't talked since, including to this day. And apparently from what I know, she called my mom and was discussing the situation that just occurred. And my mom at the time, she knew what was going on, but she didn't really have anything to say as far as that. Like, she wasn't sure. She just kind of stood back. She didn't discourage me. She was concerned just because she didn't comprehend what was happening, but she didn't try to get in my way because she knew that I've always been ambitious. I put my mind to things and I've always had talent. She knows I'm very talented, and even as a child. So anyway, she when my sister called her and said what had taken place, my mom, when they got off the phone, she actually, cha-ching, that money thing went off again, and she sent me some money. And I was like, what? And when she did, I called her and I said, Mama, you just send me some money. And I'm trying to get emotional. I'm gonna cry, y'all. So she did. She sent me some money and she said, like, I may not agree with how you're doing things, but no child of mine, I'm not gonna let them be out in the cold. I was like, oh Mama, I'm not in the cold. But I really appreciate this gesture. I really do appreciate this gesture, Mama. And that's what she did. My mother continued to support me, and she ended up getting shunned by family members and mocked and criticized because I'm grown. I had a business. These are the same people that I've helped. I have helped these people, okay? Even if it was down to coming, buying them stuff and taking them out to eat when I came home to visit from trucking. Because in trucking, you make a lot of money. I literally used to make $250,000, okay? I was making 6 figures a year in trucking. I had no issues with money, okay? Finances was good. I had learned the industry. I put in a lot of work and built it from the ground up. You know, my truck was almost paid off. My truck would have been paid off literally less than a year later. And that would have been $20,000. It wasn't $2,500. It was $2,011. No, $2,011.49 was my truck note for that semi truck every month. But I still had other expenses like 2 insurances and all of that and freight and all that, blah, blah, blah. And your girl was paying it, okay? So, but my truck was always paid off, so that meant that money would have been in my pocket. So, yeah, and I was like paying for stuff for my family. So for them to treat me the way that they did, turn their back on me, it was, especially being that it was blood, it was very disappointing. So my mom ended up stepping to the plate. Now keep in mind, this is the call. All of this is about letting you know like what it is, going into the unknown to pursue your dreams. So one thing led to another. The Most High always made sure I was taken care of, and I met some amazing people along the way. I ended up having to move back home, which is something I didn't want to do. I did not want to do it. That's another thing. You're going to have to do something you don't want to do. They say you got to do something you've never done to get something you never had. That is so true, you know, because it's almost like, again, you have to face fears. And part of the emotions that you have to face is going to be your pride, a lot of things that's in your ego, worried about being judged and ridiculed, because all of that's going to happen. It's gonna happen. It's no getting around it. But if you think about it, that is preparation for when you go on your new season, because it's going to be people doing the exact same things to you that's being done to you on the journey, right, to becoming. That's going to happen when you're finally in the season and you're there. And these people are going to be powerful. They're going to have financial power, and they'll have wisdom and knowledge and, you know, cosmic knowledge. And they're going to be, instead of utilizing it to help people, it's going to be to manipulate, and they use it as a weapon. Okay. And you will be ready for it. And that's literally what the journey is. You're not going to know. You're going to have to allow people to help you. You got to put your pride to the side. You can't be afraid to let go of anything. People, habits, beliefs, your income, your stability, finances, even marriages, you know what I'm saying? Your sanity, your dignity or whatever, your pride, your ego, you know, your fears, your doubts, some of the beliefs that you had that are outdated, that ain't going to resonate with you anymore. All of that is everything. You're going to be tested. You're going to have a lot of resilience, a lot of patience, dedication. You're going to have to keep moving forward when you're scared, when you're not sure, when you're seeing signs, when you're not seeing signs, when there are results, when there are no results, when you're tired, when you cold, when you're hot, and when you got a headache. Like, you just got to keep moving forward. When you upset, when people mocking you, when you don't know where your next meal is going to be, you have to keep moving forward. Okay. And so my mom continued to help me, and I end up, and you get guidance along the way, you know, like the Most High said, okay, you need to go ahead. It was like step-by-step kind of start your platform. I did not want to start any platforms because I was like, I don't have the equipment, and I don't like how I'm looking right now. Like, I'm looking like a hobo. I'm not used to looking like this. You know what I'm saying? Is that where the rags and riches come from? Okay, because I wasn't trying to claim that, but that's what I was really feeling like, bummy. You know, because that thing look good, you feel good. It's so true. I did not look good. I wasn't feeling good, and I remember feeling that way. And I remember a stranger came up to me and said I was beautiful. I'm looking at 44 on the timer right now. But anyways, yeah, y'all. So I was very blessed. So anyways, I'm still working on my dreams currently. I'm still going through cycles and changes, but I have come a long way since I first started, and I have learned so much. And I can tell you, I'm so proud of myself and from my brother, because you would be surprised. You know, I still think to myself, like, wow, I really walked away from my business where I made $250,000 to work on my dreams, and my platform has grown. I have like 4 different platforms growing. My views have went up, even though I don't do it for like the views and shares and stuff, but views went up. I have had celebrities reach out to me and give me recognition, not to do work together, but just to say they see me. That is amazing. You know, I've had people reach out who wanted to work with me. No charge. I didn't charge anything, but it helped me to learn how to like do training with people one-on-one and to host like classes. I had no experience with that. And when I did it, I was so nervous, y'all, but I did it. It's like the Most High, my angels and ancestors, the universe is sending things to me, helping to prepare me for what I wanted to do, you know. And you can't worry about your circumstances, because being here with my mom, it was people that didn't agree with her let me come here to stay with her. You know what I'm saying? And basically it was chaos. Very chaos. It was okay. I had to really do a lot of grounding work, breathing work, meditation, visualizations, journaling, scripting to make sure I stayed centered. And it was some days where the stress of my circumstances and how people were treating me who actually had access to me at the time that was unavoidable, was putting me through. It was taking a toll, I guess, on their end. They thought it was taking a toll on my mental health, but no, it was taking a toll on my physical health because of the energy that it was directing towards me. It was creating anxiety within me, and I would be really nervous because I would want to fight back. I want to fight back. I would want to cuss, and I would want to say all of these mean things that was not me. It was ego based. It was that person that I had got away from, you know, and it's like I wanted to prove to them, you know, there's nothing to prove, you know, so I really had to work on that, but it was necessary. You know, the things that people do to you that you go through along the journey is all part of the journey, and it is part of the process. Don't even hold it against them. You know, the glow up and the win and your success is going to speak wonders as far as that. But anyways, yeah, a lot of things has happened. And this is the thing that you deal with artists, people in the entertainment, actors, you know, authors, you know, entrepreneurs, inventors, creators, influencers. This is the process in which you go through. When you see people, they make it big, they get Emmys, they get Grammys, they get recognitions, they get these contracts that's worth millions of dollars, and they do move up in their tax bracket. It is because they went through this process to prepare them for it. And that's when you start hearing about the journey of what they went through, you know what I'm saying? Even with people losing people, somebody dying or whatever, being homeless, living in a vehicle, living in a shelter, getting kicked out, people not believing in them. You remember, y'all hear all these stories, you know, you're gonna see it from a lot of directors, people in the film, producers, everybody. Any dream that you have, a motivational speaker, Les Brown, you know, they're gonna just talk about being left in the cold and people not believing in them, especially family. And you always will be successful. So I'm putting this video out there so you know this is no blueprint. There's no maps. You just have to, whatever it is that you want and you desire within, you have to ask for that guidance. You're going to get your call. Not a physical call, but you're going to get that call from within. Answer it. And you're going to have to release attachments like direction, like you're not the driver, it's on cruise control. The Most High got you, and you got to get started. And the time frame, I can't tell you, it's different for everybody. You know, some people may have overnight success, other people it's 10 years, some people 5, 7, I don't know. It's different for everybody. It's a lot of things you have to learn and get through and go through. And that's what it is. There's no blueprint. There's no maps. The path is unknown. You're not going to be able to see it before you take it. It's like this. You know what I'm saying? The whole time. It's like this. Okay? It's like this. And if you do this, you still not going to be able to see it. All right? It's meant to be experienced. And then you make it. So if you're considering pursuing your dreams, I hope this helps you, gives you a little bit of insight of what to expect. You are not going crazy. Yes, people are going to be against you. They're not going to support you. They're going to walk away from you. There's going to be struggle and you're going to feel it. You're going to be at your lowest point, ready to give up, but you won't. You're going to have a lot of inner guidance. God is going to speak to your angels, ancestors, the Most High, your higher self. You know, you're going to see a lot of signs that you've never seen before. Your body is going to go through changes physically. You're going to go through changes mentally, emotionally, and definitely spiritually, but all for the better. It's definitely going to be painful. It's going to be painful. And I'm not talking about physically, possibly physically. You know what I'm saying? But all the healing is going to be there. You're going to get through it. You're going to have all the tools necessary to get out and to keep moving forward. All right, that's it. This video is already long. I hope this helps someone, and I love you guys. I don't need to send you hopes and wishes and all of that, but go ahead, take that leap of faith into the unknown. Everything is already working out and has worked out in your favor. Love you guys. Bye.